They slowly approached her, and they were laughing very loudly. Hi friends! Today I'm going to tell you a very scary story that happened at Avatar World train station. On the outskirts of the city lived a mom together with her daughter. For the girl named Isabella, all her life was a mystery where her father disappeared to. Her mom forbade her to ask anything about him. One day, Isabella went to school in the morning as usual. At school, the girl was constantly teased because she lived in too bad a house. She didn't like it very much, but there was no one to stand up for her. When the little girl got home, she cried and told her mom about it. Mommy was upset, but she had good news for Isabella. The girl's mom had been promoted at work, and now they were moving to a new town. Isabella was very happy. She went to pack her things, and her mom continued to cook dinner. In her missing father's room, she found something strange. It was the last toy that had been lost years ago. Her father had given it to her before he disappeared. Isabella told her mom about it, but mom was furious for some reason. She told Isabella to throw the toy away immediately and not to take it with her. But the girl did not listen to her and put the toy in her suitcase. At night, the girl and her mom packed their suitcases and went to the train station. There wasn't a single person in the whole station, but mom and daughter still stayed to wait for their train. When the train arrived, there was no driver or passengers on it. It was very strange. From a dark corner at the end of the station came a terrible laughter. The girls were very frightened. The scary silhouette was coming closer and closer to them. When he got too close, Isabella woke up. It turned out the girl fell asleep during the day, and their train will arrive only in 8 hours. However, the girl was very scared and asked her mom not to move because she was scared. The mom calmed Isabella down, and they did arrive at the train station in the evening. There were lots of people here, not like in Isabella's dream. And so, after a few minutes, all the passengers boarded the train. Everything was fine. However, after 10 minutes of the ride, Isabella noticed a man sitting not far from her. He looked just like the monster from the dream. The girl told her mom about it, but while she was saying that, the monster was already standing behind her. There was screaming, and the girl woke up in her bed again. Isabella didn't realize what was happening to her. Am I really awake this time? The girl asked herself. Isabella told her mom about it, and they went straight to the doctor. The doctor prescribed pills to help her get rid of her nightmares. But the dreams with the monster did not disappear. Isabella dreamed that he appeared in every dream she had. But they were all just nightmares, not connected to reality at all. At least that's what she thought. In one of the nightmares, Isabella saw a toy in the monster's hands that looked just like the one her father had left her before he disappeared. The girl was shocked. She told her mom about the dream. Then her mom understood everything. Didn't you throw away that toy you found in your father's room? The mom asked. The girl confessed that she had indeed left it in her room. Then the mom had to reveal to her the terrible secret about the girl's father going missing. Years ago, Isabella's father used to investigate various unexplained events and crimes. He was the best detective in town, and he was even hired by the police. But one day, after solving another case involving missing toys from the kindergarten, Isabella's father came home. It was like he was unemotional. Mom was thrilled about it. In Isabella's father's hands were the same 2 toys whose disappearance her father had discovered that night. Mom asked, "Why did you bring those toys here?" But he didn't answer anything. Instead, he put one of them in his closet, and the other in Isabella's closet. The parents went to bed. However, in the morning, Isabella's father disappeared with the toy. The girl's mom waited for him for a long time until he came back. She thought he had been called to work early in the morning. But when she turned to his co-workers, they said they hadn't seen him either. The mom was in a panic. She and the police searched the whole town, but they never found Isabella's father. Mom was terribly upset. Then she had no choice. Isabella's mom came to a wise man who knows the answers to everything in Avatar World. However, he never answers a question directly, but there was no choice. When asked where Isabella's father had disappeared to, the wise man replied that her father had made a mistake. Those missing toys were not from the kindergarten at all, but from the magical world. And the day her father brought those toys home, he was missing for a reason. Isabella's mom was terribly upset. Then she promised that she would not let anyone else go missing because of these toys, and decided that she would keep them safely at home. Isabella was very frightened by this story. All this time, she was being stalked by her own father. The girl's mom said that all her nightmares were happening because of that very toy, and it should be thrown away. At night, the mom and her daughter went to the lake. The girl threw her toy into the water, and they went back home. At home, Isabella went to sleep, because she will no longer be haunted by nightmares. But in fact, it was different. Isabella had another encounter with the monster in her dream, but this time she managed to talk to it. "Daddy, is that you?" asked Isabella. "Yes, daughter, it's me," replied the monster. "Why do you keep appearing in my dreams?" asked the girl. But the monster didn't answer her. Suddenly, she woke up again. Isabella immediately ran to tell her mom. "That can't be true, we threw that toy in the lake," said her mom. Isabella decided to check her closet out of curiosity. When she opened it, the girl was horrified. The toy was lying in its place as if nothing had happened. "But it can't be, can it?" said the girl. Mommy cried. Isabella asked why she was crying. Mommy told the girl another terrible secret. If you try to throw that toy away once and it comes back, it means you can never throw it away again. Isabella was shocked. When night fell, the girl decided to stay awake to avoid falling into that dream. But after 5 hours, she did fall asleep. In the dream, besides her father, another monster appeared. "Who are you?" asked the girl. The monster laughed and replied that she was Isabella. "That can't be, we don't look alike at all," shouted Isabella. But both monsters just laughed. When Isabella woke up, she no longer looked like herself. She didn't want to eat, she didn't want to play, she didn't want to go to school. She became completely emotionless, just like her father had once become. Mom was very scared. She didn't want to lose her daughter too. When Isabella fell asleep, her mom snuck into her room. She took the toy and went with her to the same lake. Her mom tried to throw the toy away, but suddenly she heard strange noises behind her. It was monsters. They slowly approached her, and they were laughing very loudly. The mom asked what they wanted with her and her daughter. One of the monsters said that they didn't really want them. Mom was surprised. "But then why do you keep dreaming about my daughter?" The monster laughed loudly and told her, "Don't you still get it?" Mom didn't understand what he meant. The monster said they didn't want her husband and daughter. They wanted her for themselves. Mom was scared and suddenly woke up at home on the couch. The toy was lying next to her on the chair. She realized that now she would be dreaming about them too. When Mom went to her daughter's room, no one was there. Mom decided it was time to take action. She went to the forest, where a mysterious man had helped her with this problem once before. But there was no wise man at that very place, and this upset Mom very much. When Mom returned home, she met something. They were monsters, including the wise man. It scared her very much. Mom was in tears and asked what they wanted with her and her family. The sage monster told her the secret. "You are the key to the magic world," said the sage. There was a loud scream which the police heard and immediately came to Isabella and her mother's house. But there was no one there anymore. The police searched the whole town, but found no one. But one night, one of the policemen stayed behind to guard the house. He was already very sleepy, but he had to keep watch. Suddenly, at the other end of the room, he saw a silhouette. It was a monster. But after a second, there was no one there. The policeman told his partner about it, but she didn't believe him and said he just needed more sleep. Since then, no one knows if it was a real monster or if the policeman just imagined it because of sleep deprivation. However, no one else ever went into that house to check it out.